been reading Lucas on the Line, and I did not expect to. I was going to click a different button for PDF download, and the wrong button ended up being the right button because I'm enjoying myself. It's something different reading a book from a show. You already establish a deep relationship with the characters through the acting, through the writing, and then when you read the book, you can really clearly define the look of the expressions. You can more easily predict what you would likely think that they would, the way they would say certain things. So it's a very emotional experience. My first time ever doing this. Usually I read a book and then it becomes a movie or a TV show. Yeah. Like the book is a book first. Anyways, Lucas on the Line is great especially if you're a Black person in America who grew up in a predominantly white area. It definitely explores the traumas and dynamics of that, and of growing up with non-Black friends who you feel so bonded and close to when you're really little, but then you get to a certain age where certain topics are unavoidable, and you just see the difference. I think there's a certain age where children don't notice race as a concept. But then there's another age where things start to be, again, unavoidable, and they cannot possibly understand why you desperately need to connect with people who look more like you, and it seems more like an affront. And so the conflict that we see between Lucas and Mike and Dustin in season 4 of Stranger Things is more deeply explored on a racial level in the books. And I think the author handles it quite beautifully, of acknowledging how Mike and Dustin, feel a betrayal, and it's not because they're racist or anything. It's because they genuinely love and miss Lucas, and then Lucas just does not have the words yet, being so young, to express himself and his needs. And he ends up actually confiding in Robin, and Robin is able to understand the isolation Lucas feels, as well as the betrayal Mike and Dustin feel. And then you get the class division between Max and Lucas, which is so fascinating because, oh my God, I'm gonna get so emotional. I feel like I can totally relate to the race division of having an interest that is like D&D, that doesn't have a lot of Black people in it, and so you feel this division between your white friends. But I also have felt the division of class, of being the poorer kid and not being able to explain, I don't want to get into these uncomfortable situations where I'm going to your house and I'm in tattered clothes, or I can't afford certain things. And even though you don't care, it still affects my self-esteem. So both Lucas and Max are going through self-esteem issues that they both just completely can't relate to. And so that is the beginning of their real breakup. And what's crazy to know is that Running Up That Hill is Max's comfort song, but it is also the song that made both Max and Lucas realize that they had to break up, because the song is about wanting to switch places with your lover so they can understand each other's feelings, because the truth is that they don't. And that's when Max and Lucas realize that we will not see each other in the way that's needed to in order to heal from the 4th of July trauma. They really explore the trauma that they all experienced, and Lucas talks about how they all actually died, how a part of them died inside. Though it is a metaphor, of course, there is a continuing reiteration of this idea that they died on the day of the bite. So not only is the party grieving people they lost, like Hopper, like Billy, Will and Elle moving away, but they're also grieving themselves, their identities. I'm not finished with the book, but I am at the part of realizing that Robin and Lucas are close in a way that nobody else is, which makes it so interesting that he doesn't know that not that she has to feel comfortable enough to share her sexuality with him, but I think it's interesting that he can only share his complicated feelings about race with Robin, and that Robin has the exact advice that he needs, to speak to Max and to give Mike and Dustin time to process this change. The same way that Robin comforts and guides Will in season 5 is the same way she guides and comforts Lucas in Lucas on the Line. In Confidence in Secret, it's almost like she is the designated wise guide of the hero's quest. Almost as though it's her job to guide them.